This little man is actually one of the most important Sumerian kings and is going to tell us a lot about this ancient culture. Hi everyone and welcome back to Exploring Art. This is Alessandro. We are in the third episode of the Sumerian art series and we are discovering a lot about this ancient and advanced population who developed a lot of stuff, for example the first written language. And that's why I picked this little statue of Gudea. It's actually 44 centimeters or 17.3 inches tall, so not super small, but if you look carefully you can see that on his robe there are a lot of symbols, so let's start to find out the meanings. First of all, don't get tricked by the pose and his kind of funny proportions, because this guy here was an important Sumerian king. His name was Gudea and he was the ruler of the city-state of Lagash in Mesopotamia. If you want to know more about Mesopotamia and its origins, check my introductory video, you can find the link in the description. By the way, in the description you can find also the links to my website and social medias and to my Patreon, where you can download a lot of cool stuff and at the same time support this project. Back to our king, he ruled Lagash, a very important city-state, from 2150 to 2125 BC circa, and he devoted his energies on rebuilding the great temples of the city, installing statues of him inside them. He was a real show-off, but good for us since now we have many of his statues. This one is dated back around 2090 BC and it depicts the king in the seated pose of a ruler with his hands folded in a traditional gesture of greeting and prayer. On his face we can see serenity and calmness, and is not represented like we would expect from a powerful king. Even the crown is really simple, as well as his robe. His head, I know you're thinking that, is really big compared to the rest of the body, and even his hands and feet are too big. Plus, even the pose is not natural. The king is seated, but the torso seems attached to the chair and the legs are too short and in a weird position. However, even if the statue seems messy, looking at it we feel peaceful and calm, and that's exactly the message that the sculpture wants to communicate. The Sumerian inscription on the king's robe, in fact, is a prayer, and this is one of the things that makes this statue so important. You can find the full translation on my website exploringart.co, but I can anticipate that it says, "Let the life of Gudea who built the house belong." The house is the temple where the statue was located, and Gudea is asking for a long life. And it's funny because we can read also, he also built the individual houses of other great gods of Lagash, like in the attempt of having the god to be more considerate. Despite the style, we need to remember in fact that this statue is 4,000 years old. What's important is the message. It's important because the sculpture communicates in two ways, the physical appearance and the written text, and they are coherent. I hope you enjoyed the video, and in the next episode another important artifact, so remember to subscribe if you haven't done it yet. Ciao!